this video. I wanted to start a new series that I release each week based on the dev blog post that comes out. You might have seen the in-game mail before, but basically Fox Next releases a blog post every Friday afternoon Pacific time, so California time, just highlighting some of the events and things that are coming up during the next week. So you can see this one's called Black and Ebony. It was released today. And my plan is to go through, talk about each of the things happening, how it affects beginners, if it affects beginners. Sometimes they can be a little bit confusing, so hopefully I can give you some more information on them. So the first thing I have here is about Ebony Maw. Ebony Maw is the newest legendary. It has not been released yet. This will be the first time people get an opportunity to get them. And for most beginners, this doesn't really matter. It might apply to a few people that happen to spend money. So you can see the full kit here. I won't go into the details here since I don't think it applies to many of you. But what I wanted to highlight is just what it says here, what you need to get Ebony Maw in the future. You need Black Bolt, who's a legendary, and 4 other Inhumans. So it's the first legendary that requires another legendary, and so it's going to be pretty difficult. So Black Bolt requires 5 Asgardians. So basically to get Ebony, you need 5 Asgardians at 5-star, and then 4 other Inhumans. So it doesn't affect us too much as beginners, but I just wanted to highlight that. The next thing we have up is a new event that's never happened before. It's called Powerup Milestone event. This looks like it affects at least everybody in some way. There's going to be a login calendar where you get 2,000 power cores, which is awesome. Definitely make sure you're logged in during that whole calendar. And then on top of that, for blitzing and doing arena, there's a chance to get more power cores. So we don't know exactly what the details of this are going to be. We don't know if it's going to be completely free to play, where you just have to play a lot and you get all the power cores, but that's a ton of power cores, so definitely look at that once the event gets released. I think it starts in 2 days. Yep, the 17th. So definitely something to keep in mind. And then some of these are not super big events, but they're helpful. So for the quarter blitz, this just means your teams won't ever go above 25 charges. So you can blitz with your top team over and over again, instead of blitzing between maybe 4, 5, 6 teams, however many you have. So if you're a new person and have like defenders or Asgardians or something like that, you could just use them over and over again and get high scores and blitzes. You can get more energy if you need it. If you're farming lots of stuff, you can use a little bit more power cores, so that'll be a decent one. And then the other ones I wouldn't really worry too much about, but it just means you get cheaper stuff that day when you buy stuff, so that's pretty nice too. The next thing is something we've been waiting for a really long time, and I'm really excited about this. Elza is a key member of the Supernatural team. She's the 4th of them to become farmable, and they're really, really awesome for the Mystic campaign. The only issue, we're still waiting on Ghost Rider, so hopefully we'll get some news on him soon. But the nice thing is Nexus 5.3 is not too hard for people to get to, so this should be pretty awesome, pretty easy to get. So definitely consider farming her when you want to start pushing into the Mystic campaign. This is always helpful to know what blitzes are coming next week, so you can plan on your charges and what days you want to go a little bit harder. So the first one is Psylocke. That'll start Monday of California time. She's pretty useful on the X-Men team, but she's also useful because she can unlock Magneto. So if you're in your beginner blitz, I would definitely recommend going pretty hard for her. If you're a beginner that can't push super high, I would still recommend at least getting the milestones, because getting her shards is definitely really helpful and can help get you closer to Magneto. And then starting next Thursday, Cole Obsidian is getting released through Blitz. That Blitz will be insane, but if you're in your beginner blitz, that's awesome. Definitely take advantage of that. And then for newer players that are outside of the beginner blitz, it's just going to be really, really hard to get shards. But he'll have a second blitz, so definitely at least hit the milestones and push as high as you can. Trying to get that 100 shard unlock. It's going to be difficult, but with 2 blitzes, I think it can be doable depending on your roster size. Next, we have 2 different ×2 character shard events coming up. The first I don't think applies to many beginners because Miss Marvel's in middle of Mystic campaign, and then Karnak's at the new Chapter 8 Nexus campaign. So unfortunately, I don't think either of those really apply to too many people, but if you do happen to have one, it's very useful because that's how you get Ebony Maw with these 2 characters. So this one I think applies to beginners a lot more. Definitely something I would recommend farming. When I was a beginner, I was definitely refreshing my nodes a lot and putting a lot of energy into these characters. In particular, the Defenders and Punisher, not so much Night Nurse, but definitely something to consider. So yeah, this is something I just want to do every week. So let me know what your thoughts are, and if you like it, then I'll continue it. So just let me know. Thanks for watching.